This is your evening news update for Thursday, May 20. So glad you could join us. Vaccinations and frequent frontline testing are on the front burner for the island's tourism leaders. This comes amid reports that cruise liners and even land-based operators are inquiring about whether tourism workers here have received the COVID-19 vaccine or will undergo regular testing for the viral illness. At a news conference today, Chairman of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Jeffrey Roach, says the issue will have to be addressed.
Many of the cruise lines have been indicating that once they resume cruising, that they would want to conduct business specifically with tour operators whose teams have been fully vaccinated or tested on a regular basis. And the rationale for that is that at current, the cruise lines are indicating that they will cruise with fully vaccinated passengers only. Just recently, we were seeing an indication that there might be some passengers on board who might not be fully vaccinated, but the person would have to provide a rationale for why they cannot have a vaccine. So it might be a medical reason or such like, right? The intention there from the ship is, from what we see, is to protect the bubble that they're going to create. And the truth is that even for land-based tourism, we have been getting some inquiries from persons who want to travel about whether the teams at the properties are fully vaccinated. Vaccination and testing of staff, right? It's a hot button issue. I think it certainly has to be addressed because, it serves a twofold purpose. Vaccination and or testing of staff serves to protect the team members themselves.
Chief Executive Officer of the BHTA, Senator Rudy Grant, says stakeholders will have to clearly weigh the pros and cons, and the BHTA is already engaging union representatives on the matter.
It's a very difficult and challenging period, and I think we have to weigh the pros and cons, but there also needs to be the recognition of the need to get this industry back and functioning again, without in any way trying to deny the rights of individuals. We have had some discussion with the Barbados Workers Union, and they've indicated that they're willing to collaborate with us in terms of facilitating a higher level of education to workers with respect to the taking of the vaccine. But we do have to address this very challenging issue.
In other news, Samantha Jordan and her son were today released from quarantine. The mother claims she was placed in quarantine after refusing to take a nasal COVID-19 test at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital recently, where she had taken her asthmatic son for treatment. Spokesman for the non-governmental organization, the Steering Committee, Winston Clark, who met Jordan today, told reporters the matter will be challenged legally.
It has been a rather traumatic and distressful experience for her. Okay, her attorney on record is Douglas Trotman. Please note that. Okay, and he will advise her to speak at some later time, obviously. But the steering committee is here to support her in every way. We will ensure that this does not end here.
He maintained there was no reason for her detention.
There was no valid reason. I would have interacted. I would have went to the Prime Minister's office and taken letters to the Prime Minister's office, to the Attorney General's office, and to the Chief Medical Officer's office yesterday. Okay, that was the second set of correspondence I sent to them. And we were told, yes, that she would be released today, but up to now, I have not heard anything feasible or plausible as to why she has been detained. Usually in situations like this, they do contact tracing. Her family hasn't been quarantined or isolated. Nobody she works with, nothing of the sort. She's not been in contact with anybody. We ourselves did a history of her, of where she's been, her work, etc. There's nothing plausible for this.
At least 98 media workers on the front line are set to receive personal protective equipment. It's all thanks to Sagicor that today made a special presentation to the Barbados Association of Journalists and Media Workers in recognition of the media's coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic and the recent ashfall resulting from the La Soufrière volcano. Barjam President Keith Goddard welcomed the gesture.
Oftentimes, whether it's COVID, whether it's a fire, whether it is whatever hazard it is, the media is always expected to be there. And oftentimes people tend to forget that the responsibility that we have to families, to our homes, and to ourselves is not something that is top of mind. And I think that the recognition by Sagicor as the first corporate organization to recognize the media today and to offer us these PPE, which are relevant in today's new operations with COVID, and as recent as the ash from St. Vincent, places on record the importance that a company like Sagicor sees in terms of the media and our work to be done. And I want to commend Sagicor, and I would hope that other entities across Barbados will recognize the role, the very important role that the media fill.
Sagicor's Vice President of Customer Experience and Sales Strategy, Tracy Knight-Lloyd, stressed the value of the media.
Sagicor, of course, has always had a tremendous respect for the media. And coming off of a challenging 2020 for everyone, we made a deliberate decision to demonstrate our gratitude for the work that you do. Today, we are happy to make a donation of personal protective equipment to the membership of the Barbados Association of Journalists and Media Workers, BARJAM, to be distributed amongst close to over 200 media frontline workers who have been working tirelessly day in and day out to keep us informed as we continue to battle COVID-19. Thank you for all that we do. Thank you for all that you do. And we look forward to building more on this partnership this year and beyond.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional developments, the Guyana government is still unable to confirm whether there are new COVID-19 variants in the country. Government is already challenging a recent report from the Pan American Health Organization that the Brazilian P1 variant of the coronavirus is in the country. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony maintains Guyana has not tested for variants since the start of the year.
The Ministry of Health had submitted 10 random SARS-CoV-2 samples to the Caribbean Public Health Agency CARPHA in January for gene sequencing after technicians at the private laboratory in Guyana said they had observed inconsistency in some samples. CARPHA returned the results in early February, where it was determined that none of the 10 samples were variants of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes the disease COVID-19. But with Guyana experiencing a new wave of the virus, which has seen an increase in deaths and new cases, there are concerns raised on whether any mutations of the disease are present in Guyana. Even with the government questioning the Pan American Health Organization PAHO's indication that the P1 variant, which originated in Brazil, is present in the country, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony on Thursday did not say what action the government has independently taken in recent times to make its own determination. During his COVID-19 update on Thursday, Dr. Anthony would only reference the 10 samples sent to CARPHA back in January.
The only way you can determine whether there's a variant in any country is that you have to do genetic sequencing. As you know, we would have sent samples to CARPHA sometime early in the year. We had sent 10 samples, and none of those 10 samples we have seen anything that resembles a variant.
On the international scene, Israel and Hamas will cease fire across the Gaza Strip border as of Friday, the Palestinian Islamist faction has announced, bringing a potentially tenuous halt to the fiercest fighting in years.
We've just got a very short statement here from Benny Gantz, Israel's defense minister, and he says the security forces, Israel's security forces, have achieved unprecedented military achievements in the last 11 days in their strength, accuracy, strategic significance in the fight against terrorist organizations in the Gaza Strip. He goes on to say the defense establishment continues its readiness to protect Israeli citizens, and the security forces and the IDF are deployed in the field in all formations in various sectors in defense in attack. 15 minutes ago, sirens were going off close to Gaza. We could hear impacts in the distance. This is all dependent on Hamas's weapons falling silent before 2 a.m. local, 3 hours from now. If they don't, Israel is indicating this is on again. They will strike Hamas back.
And Nick, what can you tell us about reaction on the ground to this news?
Jake, about 2 hours ago, sirens went off. We went into the bomb shelter of in this hotel, and I'm giving you that background because in there I spoke to a lady live on CNN and asked her what she thought about what she wanted the Prime Minister to do while he was meeting with that security cabinet. She said she wanted the strikes to continue. She lives in the south part of Israel. She is worried about Hamas's strength and more rockets coming from Gaza. She's not alone. A lot of people around here will tell you that. They want to feel secure. They want their government to make them feel secure, and they believe the way to do that is to continue to hit Hamas until they can't strike back. I asked, what about the civilian casualties in Gaza? Her answer on that was along the lines of, we need to be secure. They need to understand that Hamas is using their territory to launch attacks here.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.